In the summer of 1986, Argentina and England met on a football pitch in Mexico. But the stadium tension had little to do with sports. 4 years earlier, these two nations fought a bitter, bloody conflict over the Falkland Islands. The trauma of that war was still fresh. 6 minutes into the second half, a high ball floated into the English penalty area. Diego Maradona jumped alongside the English goalkeeper, but Maradona knew he couldn't reach it with his head, so he raised his left fist and punched the ball into the net. The referee missed it. The goal counted. He cheated, and he didn't care. He later called it the hand of God. But what happened 4 minutes later defies logic. Maradona picked up the ball in his own half and began to run. He bypassed one English defender, then another, then 3 more. They looked like statues. In a single, uninterrupted 60-yard sprint, he scored what is widely considered the greatest individual goal in the history of the sport. Those 4 minutes capture the essence of Diego Maradona. He was the street thief who tricked the system and immediately followed it by producing a moment of athletic majesty no one else on earth could replicate. He carried both of those identities with him until the day he died. To understand this duality, we look at where he started. This is Villa Fiorito, a neighborhood outside Buenos Aires. In 1960, money barely existed here. The homes were crowded, the streets were rough, and survival was the primary daily objective. At 3 years old, someone gave Diego a football. It became an immediate obsession. He slept with it, he carried it everywhere. When the ball was at his feet, the crushing poverty around him simply vanished. Those dirt pitches shaped the way he played. To survive against older, stronger kids, he couldn't play safely. When defenders hacked at his ankles or shoved him to the ground, Diego didn't back down. He retaliated the only way he knew how, by humiliating them with the ball. By the time he was 15, he was making his professional debut. While other kids his age were sitting in high school classrooms, Maradona was taking the field against grown men, and he was already outclassing them. The Argentine public noticed immediately. Crowds swarmed stadiums to watch this teenager play. To them, he was a national savior. That creates a deeply volatile situation. You have a kid wired for combat by the slums, suddenly handed the crushing expectation of absolute perfection. In 1982, he moved to Europe to join Barcelona, but the polished, wealthy world of Spanish football clashed with his combative nature. Defenders targeted him with brutal tackles. Maradona fought back, literally. His time there ended in injuries, mass brawls, and pure chaos. He didn't fit. This map of Italy highlights a sharp divide. Northern cities like Milan and Turin held the financial assets and prestigious football clubs. Southern cities like Naples were starved of investment and treated as inferior. So, Maradona transferred to Napoli. When Diego arrived in these crowded, working-class streets, he felt right at home. He looked at Naples and saw Villa Fiorito. He deeply understood what it meant to be ignored and disrespected. Empowered by that anger, Maradona went to work. He began to systematically dismantle the wealthy northern giants, Juventus, AC Milan. Teams with vastly superior resources simply couldn't stop him. He dragged Napoli to the top of Italian football. The city responded by treating him like a deity. They painted his face on the sides of buildings. Millions of people effectively worshipped him. Maradona needed that dynamic. His particular brand of magic didn't work in a sterile environment. He needed a battle. He required the emotional fuel of a social crusade to push his body to its absolute limits. That exact dynamic is what made the 1986 World Cup so potent. When Maradona put on the Argentine shirt in Mexico, he carried the geopolitical vengeance and the entire identity of his nation on his shoulders. He completely consumed that tournament. He dictated the pace of every match, scored when he wanted, and willed Argentina to the championship. Lifting that trophy made him a global, immortal figure. But that level of adoration is deeply dangerous. He became the living, breathing soul for millions of people across multiple continents. That is the trap. When a human being is elevated to the status of a god, the people around him stop treating him like a person. And more importantly, nobody ever tells a god no. The pressure of maintaining that mythical status fractured him. Maradona began heavily using cocaine. His physical discipline evaporated, and his private life spiraled out of control. Instead of intervening, the infrastructure around him shielded the addiction. The legend of Maradona generated too much money and too much pride to be paused. So his inner circle protected the brand, while allowing the actual man to fall deep into the shadow of mafia figures and dark influences. The bill for that lifestyle finally came due at the 1994 World Cup. In front of a global audience hoping for one last magical run, Maradona failed a drug test. He was immediately expelled from the tournament. Watching him walk off the pitch for the final time felt profoundly tragic. The world watched a genius physically collapse under the suffocating weight of the myth he had built. The years following his retirement were brutal. He faced severe weight issues and continuous life-threatening hospital visits. And yet, through all the chaos, the fans never abandoned him. They loved him because he never pretended to be perfect. Diego was messy. He made terrible mistakes, but his struggles made him real. He carried the same pain and pressure as the people watching him. He remains one of the most fascinating contradictions in modern history. A man who possessed absolute magical control over a football, but possessed absolutely no control over himself. Diego Maradona is not remembered in spite of his devastating flaws. He is immortal because those very flaws proved that even gods have to walk through the dirt.